Yo, what up, Gabby? 5D here. It feels like a chill day in Raid Shadow Legends, but the weekend is coming and there will be some shard opening events coming up along with it. It's a chill day for every player out there who does not care about this Community Week's Titan event, which has split souls for Artor, this free champion we are all about to get from Fragments. In this video, I want to go over the champions that will be available through a 15x this weekend, especially if you want points, if you want some points towards your milestone right here. They call it this time Titan points here. If you want these Titan points, I'll tell you the champions that are available. We don't know, it might be a summon rush or a champion chase. No, it can be another. Yes, it's the summon rush from the calendar we saw. So that summon rush has 15x epics and legendaries, so I'll share with you that information in this video. So how are you doing in terms of this milestone chase? Are you going for just the 3-star few things you can do? And one event that seems like a lot of newer players might have to skip out on because they simply don't have the champions to get it done will be the Fire Knight one. If you go to your tournament, you see a Fire Knight tournament going on. It just has a few hours to go. It goes along with a Dungeon Divers, and I put together a team yesterday that can, you know, get some points in level 20 of the Fire Knight. As usual, you always want to fight these types of tournaments that restrict the number of champions factions you can use. This one requires you to use Banner Lords, High Elves, Sacred Order, and Barbarians only. I think they call it the Telerian. Let me see what they are called. Faction unit or faction pact or something. Telerian League. So this time around, this is this first row of champions you have to use. So any champions from the Banner Lords is fair game. Any champions from the High Elves, any champion from the Sacred Order, they are all available for you to use. The key champions that everybody might want to use if you're going for that event, Titan event. Remember, if you're not going for this Titan event, fight the Fire Knight like you normally would with your full entire team. You will not get points towards that tournament, but you at least you'll be getting the boosted chance of getting sacred. I mean, what do you call it now? Savage, not sacred. Savage sets. So if you can fight the Fire Knight at 25 or a hard mode, you're better off farming it like that if you're looking for Savage sets with your normal team. If you restrict yourself to using those High Elves, Barbarians, and all these restrictions, you will most likely have to drop down to a lower level like I did, because I just wanted to get this tournament out of the way really fast. That's why I'm fighting this Fire Knight at level 20. So this is the team that made it possible for me. Of course, I don't have energy. Speaking of energy, this clan shop reset right in time for us to go over there and pick up some free energy pots if you do have the gold required to buy it though. So let me go back to it. I did put together this team and I checked on my list of videos I put out about the Fire Knight. I do not yet have a Telerian Union team yet, so I thought why not put out this video to show you, because this event will come up again in the future. Possible champions you might want to use in your Telerian 20 or 25 team to help you get it done. Of course, there will be super endgame players who are able to put together a team that can do it at hard mode 6. I'm sure of that because we have one of the most popular freeze champions that has it on his awesome skill. He's available in the Barbarian. Yeah, called the Scourge. So he has a freeze on his A1. So he's going to be one that most players would want to put together that freeze comp because of double ally attack champions. Maybe the most popular one, of course, is going to be Farrakhan the Fat. So I'm just listing out a few champions that I feel like most players would have access to. Farrakhan the Fat and Yakal the Scourge. Now, those are the two key ones that every player doing this tournament right now might use. If you're a newer player and you don't have a good speed booster for this, you might want to select this. Hit your filter, select include masteries, include master vault, include reserve vault. Minimize this. You can go over 2 factions and select the Barbarian, High Elf, Sacred Order, and Banner Lords too. So with this now, you see a bunch of champions. These champions are now available for you to put into teams and get this event done. So there are some good speed auras, and I feel like Deacon is going to be good for the waves, so nobody goes down during the wave clear. You can see I don't have any reviver right here. I brought in 2 damage dealers instead. You can also do it with 1 damage dealer. And let's not forget, when I didn't want to use this champion, I thought about using our OG most useful champion for the early game. If you are struggling with the Fire Knight, if I can find him, there it is, an Amiga. Well, not the level not this level 1. Let me find my original Amiga, this one. So I thought about using him. I fought one battle with him, then I thought there's no need for me to keep the boss's turn meter down consistently, but this is going to be an easy cheat way for you to get done with this. Now forget about this second ally attack champion I did put in here. You can put in a second Farrakhan the Fat if you have that in your team, but Luna Tarero is going to be my MVP right here. Their skills are locked out, not to be used in the first wave, not to be used in the second wave. Their skills, when I talk about their skills, I mean their ally attack skills are only to be used on the boss. So once you get to the boss, they can start the battle with these two skills. Fine, the boss does put his shield up again if I don't have an Amiga, but I have enough shield protection on me to not die in one hit of the boss and then take down the shield again and kill him eventually. So lots of champions. Let me see if there's any other one that might be useful if you don't have these MVPs I have right here on my list. There are lots of champions available this period for you to use for this content. If you're struggling with healing and reviving for the wave content, you can definitely use this champion. I'm surprised I don't even have 2 copies of Farrakhan the Fat. Well, I've been getting duplicates of him and using it to +3 him right now because I felt like I have legendary champions who already have ally attack better than he does, so he fell out of my teams until now. Now for the damage dealers, if you don't yet have the Akal the Scourge, is there anyone that I feel like epic damage dealers? Let me switch to only epic. So this might be for newer players who are really trying to get this done, because I'll think that the Fire Knight own will be an easy skip, but most players want to skip anyone that requires them to pull shots in this Titan event. Is there any crazy epic champions besides Farrakhan the Fat? Oh, that's a second copy of Farrakhan the Fat. I thought I had one. So not really a lot of champions that are available to do damage for you if you're not using legendaries damage dealers like I'm using. There's not a lot of options for damage. We've got Stagnite in here. A1 decrease speed on the boss might be important for some players who are struggling to keep the boss's turn meter down. There's not a lot of options for damage. I'm quite surprised. Deacon is gonna be the MVP. HP Bond is not very useful in this content. If you don't have decreased defense for AoE decreased defense, no Deacon, you can use this as your main source of decreased defense for the wave, so you can clear them faster. I don't really see good epics in this union. I don't see a lot of good epics. Did I set my filters right? I did. So that's all the epics. I didn't want to look at them from the champion index page. I wanted to see it from the ones I own, which are most likely all of them right here. Is there any epic that I'm not prioritizing right here in this battle? Let me know in the comments. Now for the legendary ones, there are ton of them. Most players will even use their mans, because if the wave cannot get a turn, they can kill you, then the boss can always use that A3 consistently on the boss to keep the turn meter down, because Amaz will be taking 2 turns by stealing the entire turn meter. At level 20, you can take the entire turn meter of the boss, right? Fill to himself and get an extra turn. Maybe you even build this champion himself and use him as, because you're getting souls for him, maybe you build him and use him for this content. I don't know. But not a lot of crazy legendaries. That's damage dealer. That's an awesome damage dealer. He's also an awesome damage dealer, either for the wave or for the boss. When you have a bunch of debuffs on him, he can go in there and use his skills. If you prioritize it, that will do a ton of damage. She might be good also for the wave clear, burn, explosion. So there are options for legendary ones, and you got some revivers, healers in there also. Let me see. Is there any mythical, crazy mythical that definitely deserves a shout out for this one? Did I set it to mythical? Yeah. Why am I seeing legendaries then? No, that's 6-star. Show me mythicals. Oh, I see why I didn't see the epics now. I was on the wrong side of this filter. Let me see again. I was definitely on the wrong side of the filter, but there are still almost all the epics I already have. Oh, now I'm seeing an awesome damage dealer. My filter was wrong before. Now I'm seeing some crazy damage dealers. Speed Aura, leader slot if I don't have a Deacon for sure. But still kind of similar. Alright, let me see the mythicals now. I was on the wrong side of the filter. I just have 2 mythicals from this, and I think the one that would be most useful for me was this. But his negative affinity, if you want to fight this with this dude, you might have to switch to a different stage that has a different affinity than him. I don't think I need this Galatea for this content, but definitely pushing our autometer forward with his A1s, and then the revives will be useful for anybody struggling. That's if I wanted to fight it at hard mode. I would use these champions. If I wanted to push to hard mode 6 or something, I would use these champions and double ally attack. Galata also has a skill where no, it's not going to reset our skills or cooldown of our skills. I was looking for a champion that could reset so my ally attack champions can take another turn. I think that will be available if you use your filters right. Let me see if I can find one champion like that, because if that will be possible, I'm sure Yakar can use his A1 freezes to keep the autometer down entirely. Other effects, positive effects, decrease skill cooldown, ally skill cooldown. That's what I'm looking for. No, increase or decrease. Is that positive or negative? That's it now. That's what I was looking for. Decrease skill cooldown. That's for the enemies. I don't think such champion, if it does, I would have seen it right here and be added to my team, but I don't need that right now. All right, let me run the battle and show you how the Fire Knight team does at 20. Like I said, you can use the same team for 25 if you prefer to use a champion with magic affinity as your damage dealer, because whenever this type of special tournaments come up, a lot of players do not go for it. So if you are able to put together a team that can do it, you will find yourself leading a Fire Knight leaderboard for the first time, which is normally not done on a normal Fire Knight tournament. So if you can put together a team and do it, you can be the proud winner of some 6 pieces of 6-star relentless sets and an ancient shard right here, including this mythical charm, and then of course the rewards on the right side. I'm gonna stop at the 2,000 points mark. I'm not gonna skip out on this Fire Knight tournament because of the conditions are stringent. I'm gonna definitely go hard for it and get it done real quick, along with the dungeon divers, which I'm getting points for right now. Let's see how fast I get this one done though. I'm glad it doesn't give you points based on how fast you get it done. It gives you points based on the value of the artifact you get, right? That's what tournament gives you points for, or based on the level you fight. First wave clear was fast though. I should save some of their skills for the second wave, because the second wave is not fast at all. The first wave was a lot faster. All my AoE nukers now are waiting for their skills to come around again. And Yakal is still using A1s. I don't know if I prioritize those skills. AoE is available now. Boom. That's it. Yakal, don't waste your AoE. He does. That AoE has a freeze, so you should have saved it for the boss. He just wasted his decreased speed also. And autometer is, the boss's shield is down. That's what you want to see. But without the decreased speed on the boss, he will get a turn eventually. Deacon is trying his best to keep the autometer down. Yakal did not decrease the autometer right there. Extra turn. Boom. Big nukes. The HP bond plus this dude's skill, most players would think he will just come over here and nuke him. But he's doing his best. Autometer reduced again by Deacon. Yakar finally did it. The A2 I was waiting for with the decreased speed. So sometimes the boss does get a turn. Sometimes when Yakar gets his skills right, the boss cannot get a turn. I probably should prioritize him to start with his A1 and then use that skill later when the shield is down. That will help me a great deal. Don't fight a second battle because it's about to. My Artor Hopper is still online waiting for auto battles. But anyways, that's the team I wanted to showcase for my, what do you call them again? Telerian League, because whenever they do this special tournaments that restrict the type of champions, most players will see it as a challenge. If you're super bored with fighting the hard mode of the Fire Knight, this is a fresh way to look at the Fire Knight, to think of champions you would normally never use in the Fire Knight. But fortunately for me, these are champions I would normally use in the Fire Knight, except for the damage dealers you saw me using right here in this Bannerlord's faction. What's his name again? Ratalos Blade Master. So he's gonna be doing big nukes for you if you're not using Yakar. But I prefer Yakar because he does have a little bit of autometer reduction. If you're super early game, you can go with your old-fashioned Sacred Order champion, who we are forgetting a little bit of him, but once in a while it comes up and becomes an MVP again in a tournament like this. So take full advantage of it. All right, it's time for me to tell you the champions that will be available through the 15x tomorrow when you're summoning shards. But when I say summoning shards, I feel like you already know it's coming. I said it's going to be a summon rush. Is it here right now? It's not yet. I'm looking whether the countdown is already showing. That's it. Summon rush. It's coming. 19 hours more. It's part of this Titan event. It will have Titan event points. So if you are forced to summon, I've already I decided to skip once I saw this community weeks event. I decided that I was going to skip on this summon rush entirely. That's one thing I will skip. That's why you see me going for the Fire Knight, Dungeon Divers, and everything else that is going on to pick up the Titan event points. So because where else are you going to spend all that energy? It's part of account improvements. Maybe you're kind of farming that savage set in a low level also. But the summon rush, I will skip it. But if you're going for it, these are the champions that will be available for grabs in a 15x. It's not a 2x. It's not the best time to summon shard Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Thursday already. So War Master, Artor, and Cheshire Cat, Hefrak, Kavalax, Sun Wukong, Akrisia for Voids, Onryo, Ieyasu, and Leros the Proud also for Voids. These are the legendary. You have one slot to select a legendary, and you also have one slot to select a epic champion. Let me see if I can find that. They are the ones for the epic champion. One slot to select a Geomancer, Farrakhan the Fat, Artor from Ancients, then Inquisitor Shemel and Weregren Sun Cost. I'm surprised they didn't add in a Mikage epic right here to make players who want to target Mikage epics grab this 15x event. That's also something that always entice players to chase after 15x events. But if you're looking for a Geomancer or a Farrakhan the Fat, because this is a Fire Knight going on right now, this might be an opportunity to get a Farrakhan the Fat. But unfortunately, before you get him, that Fire Knight event has already ended. But those are some champions. What do they have in common? Normally, these champions usually have something in common. Geomancer, Farrakhan the Fat, Artor. What do they have in common? I don't see anything they have in common. HP burn, Tometer reduction. Farrakhan the Fat also has HP burn. Artor doesn't have HP burn, Tometer reduction. Farrakhan the Fat doesn't have Tometer reduction. So there's usually what something they have in common. I don't know War Master, Usher, Cheshire Cat, or Hefrak. Kavalax has poisons. Sun Wukong doesn't have poisons. What do these champions have in common? Is that from all that union? Maybe they are from that union? No. Akrisia is a dwarf. They are not from the same union. I don't know what they have in common, but I'm sure they normally have a team for this type of events whenever they launch. Maybe this one has no team. They just put a bunch of random champions in there. So Community Week Titan event is still going on. We're still grabbing points along with it. And see what else is happening in Raid. I think that's the only information I wanted to share. I wanted to showcase the team I'm using to fight Fire Knight 20. Why am I not fighting 25? But because I just want to get this event done and focus on something else. Hopefully I win it. I'm currently in second place because, like I said, nobody normally goes for this. And a lot of players already decided to skip out on this Titan event. So if you're one of the few going for it, or if you see this video in the future when you're looking for Telerian factions only Fire Knight team, good luck to you. Make sure you like, subscribe for more daily raid content. Whenever they put challenges out, I like to put out this type of video to showcase the team I'm using to do it. It might not be the best, it might not be at the highest stage. It's just use what I'm using at level 20 or 25 to get it done and move on to the next big thing that is happening. Alright, I'll put my battles back on auto and go post this video for you guys and wait till this weekend where I see what you guys are pulling or missing out on. Later, guys.